This is from the Bush years, although you might not know it. Headlines and front lines. Who is on station, keeping watch? Where are the front lines? We can see the small circles colored in on maps of Turkey and the stands, or the rash overspread in Iraq. These are the usual suspects commonly held as front lines. But on the Golden Gate, a camouflaged vehicle is parked at ease nearby two soldiers, weapons slung on their shoulders. Looking at their non-issue wraparounds, their eyes are hidden from view. The sun's glinting gleam slips along silver rims, edging my awareness, and I see their presence as a newer, kinder, gentler frontier front line. Long and torturous then, the front line runs through every place, tangled and spaghettied, crossing the wires, bringing us the news. It's in the news speak, punctuating the fabric of our lives, point by needle point, insinuations whip-stitched to penetrate the warp and woof of our day-to-day world. Along these lines, we are strung out with the lines that affront the airport's blinkless computers, the digital double-gangers ranked and filed by the millions, and the blinkered thinking hemming in constitutional exercise. It is the loopholes made into twist into knots pressing into the skin as they tighten around the wrists. It is the whirls and signatures on unseen warrants, the lines someone signs on, or the perimeter of Camp X-Ray. As front lines become headlines, headlines become front lines. In the Fourth Estate, fifth columns advance across the dailies, yellowing the journalism, cut off, surrounded, holdout op-eds are co-opted as slowly, surely, each word, every line affronts. Reading, I can't help but observe the shifting lies we are given to believe. In this general retreat, I fall back, sniping, sorting out fictions, inevitably creating yet another front line drawn between that which I can and cannot accept. Then, too, the front line is here before my eyes. It is crossing the T on a word that wouldn't have otherwise been written. Perforce it's my body, silhouette when I take to the streets, the sound waves of my voice as I rage at a solstice fire. Telling jokes that ridicule also affront, or a synapse firing across that minuscule gap, the trace of chemical reactions that arc between dendrites, if the thought would be suspect. We're asked to look out for the stranger, report suspicions, and so now a second glance, a raised eyebrow, are front lines, which increasingly are in the eyes of the beholder. And when someone asks what I'd say to those who wage this war, I find the front line is at the heart of the matter. I can't recuse myself from the disheartening disconnect between the high purpose this nation might have been born to and the state to which it has fallen. When we are asked not to question, believe fraudulent, incompetent leaders and ignore how these few have done so damned much to so very many in so brief a time that it simply beggars the imagination, such questions become a burden, unexpectedly heavy and drear, but then there's nothing for it. If I choose to live, because with each painful heartbeat, I am reminded that my heart has been run through and it is on the line, so I'll have no solace, for I can't back away or turn an about face, because there'd be no real time between that kind of choice and the living death. So the Bush years, I used to call it the reign of error. It came, I was asked to write a thing about who influenced me, and it became this poem. Upon being asked who influenced you, how and when does a story begin? How are we to know? When I think of it, any tale, no matter its size, must begin long ago. So when asked who influenced me, I gave my friend this analogy. Consider a stream, I said, even a small one near to hand. Is not its course ever guided by the contours of the land? Is it not deflected by every rock, bit of soil, or living thing with which it coexists before or after the stony lip of its spring? And are not all these things but a postscript proceeding from a source which charges the nature of the stream and so affects its discourse? Nor should I say that to fail to say that forests and men alike surely do amend it, for its worth is clear to those temporal beings who can apprehend it. But the fishes and all the living things cannot be the stream, nor, for that matter, can it be the water, or so it would seem, for the flow is ever carried off, even as we watch for sport, whether by evaporation or gravity's simple transport. It's surely not its path or the things it is carried off, nor could it be its remains, a shallow, drying trough. A stream, then, is a time and place dependent on conditions which, if the truth be told, have the utmost antiquity as its origins. Preconditions which, if they be scientifically analyzed withal, stretch back to the beginnings of time and matter immemorial, and perforce, do they not, I waxed, extend onward in time, to the very edge of doom itself. Imagine a stream so sublime. And so full circle I came as my analogy found its end. What are the credits I must roll to answer, my friend? No less than everyone who has ever been or may yet be. Not less than that full chorus, say I, have clearly influenced me. Thank you.